Good evening, everyone. My name is Michelle Pachesney, and today we're video recording the Authentic Entrepreneurs podcast. And I'd like to welcome Thyra Newby. Today, she's my guest. Hi, Thyra.
Hi, Michelle. Thank you for having me today.
We've known each other for a while. I think we met during the Transforming Pain into Purpose book that we co-authored in, and then we also co-authored in Unbreakable Stories.
Yes, yes, I'm so excited about that work. But yeah, I was so happy that, we've got connected. That's why I
Me
believe strongly
too.
in anthologies because you really do get connected with amazing people and it's just going to help you rise. But yeah, I'm so grateful that you're in my life.
Me too. And we also did, we finished the Rise Up Summit,
Yes, yes.
and you had an amazing talk. And that's what I'd like to talk on today, the struggles you went through and how you overcame them into the person that you are today.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
Go ahead.
So yes, yes, yes. So what I talked about in the summit was basically like breaking generational cycles or trauma.
Mhm.
I think I know there's a lot of people are waking up more these days. There's a lot more discernment these days, but a lot of people are still stuck and they don't realize that, and it's not all families, it's just, but it is a very real
Right.
thing. This is a true fact.
Mhm.
And
And they
so,
don't talk about it much either. So that's
right,
why I'm glad
exactly.
we're here and we could talk about that today.
Right, yes. They don't want to talk about it because it's family, right? Family over everything, which is one of the most toxic things that, to me, that you can say because not all family is healthy. And it goes back
Mhm.
even to the biblical times. It's just the truth. And so what happens is like when you're a child, you go from a certain age to like 7 years old, like you basically are a sponge and everything comes in. And what happens is if you grew up in some kind of trauma or you didn't receive the love unconditional, you start to normalize toxic behavior.
Mhm.
And what happens is if you don't get that healed, what happens is that then you start to take that into, your teen years and your adult years, and you tolerate a lot more. You tolerate um, situations in your life that's not healthy for you. For example, you pick the wrong partner, and or you pick the
Mhm.
wrong like job, a toxic working environment, or you tolerate emotional abuse because you want to normalize that so badly, and it's because you're not healed from that. And basically, because it's family, it should be okay for you to be scapegoated or, become the black sheep of the family, have everything blamed on you. And it's something that is just so unhealthy. It's a lot of people actually, what happens, that's why we have so many people pleasers in our lives because
Mhm.
they come from that dynamic and they're like, well, if I didn't get the love, if I just, give you everything that I have and I let you
Mhm.
emotionally abuse me, then I'll get some kind of acceptance, right? But people pleasing, it's it's one of the it's just not good for you.
Mhm.
I tell my clients that you are so much worth it. I mean, you need to make yourself a priority
Mhm.
and love yourself the most and really heal what you wish could be.
Mhm.
And I tell them, we all want connection because we're human beings, right?
Right.
We want love, we want connection, which is something that we do need. It's how God created us. But you want the connections made with the people who have healthy
Mhm.
relationships and who are emotionally healthy themselves that raise your cup,
Mhm.
that raise you, if I'm making sense.
Oh, yes. At what point did you say enough was enough? This needed to change because you didn't want to bring it on to the next generation.
Yes. So I mean, I always knew that I was a little different from my family because I always
Mhm.
wanted more. We grew up in poverty. Like we had to climb trees to pick fruit just so we can eat for that day. And I knew, I mean, there was many times that I was like, enough is enough. But one thing about healing, it's not linear, it's a spiral. up. And
Mhm.
when you healed one area, then you realize, oh my goodness, here's another area I need to heal. And then you heal that, and you're like, oh my gosh, there's another one I need to heal. And so I came to a point where I've done all of the work, all of the therapy work, all the healing, I read all of the books, did all of the things, wrote stories. But the one that really gave me the aha moment was my family of origin,
Mhm.
because even though I have a wonderful supportive husband, I have the most beautiful support system. I have, I'm so blessed in so many ways, and I'm so grateful to God. But the family part, because I just, I love them. They're my family. They're part of your identity.
Correct.
And the moment I said like enough is enough was when after all the healing, I said, you know what, let's go ahead. I wanted to do a get together because my dream was always to take all of my nieces and nephews to Disney World. That was my dream. It was, why not, right? And
Right.
it was always a dream. And I rented this Airbnb. I invited all of my siblings and everything. Even though after everything, I made peace with myself. Let's just get together. Let's reconnect. Let's enjoy having the children laugh and play and just soak all that happiness in. And the enough and enough part was when they basically hijacked the Airbnb, and they kind of all like ganged up on me, basically that there was something wrong with me. And there was nothing wrong with me.
Mhm. Mhm.
I only speak to them once a year. I live my own life. I mind my own business. And so it was
Mhm.
like, wait, you don't know me and you're hijacking, my space, ganging up and say, I think
Right.
there's something wrong with it. And this is after already best-selling author. This is after already I have a
Wow.
community
Okay.
of 700 women that I lead. I'm a certified life coach. So it was very interesting. And that's when I was like, it's gonna hurt. It really is gonna
Mhm.
hurt, but I have to grieve what I
Mhm.
wish could be. You could be the most loving person on this earth, and you
Mhm.
can just want to give and love. But sometimes you have to be real with yourself and be
Mhm.
truthful. And I have to be real and truthful with myself that
Mhm.
they're not going to accept me for who I am. And the more I elevate, the more
Mhm.
they're going to not accept me because they want me to stay in that scapegoat role. And it was very painful, but I grieved through it. And that was like the real transformation. And that's when I decided, you know what? Even though I talk about a lot of the other things that I've been through and help other women overcome, I really want to talk about this family situation because breaking generational cycles is something that, and it's not like it's their fault or your fault. It's just
Right.
something that it's just carried on from one generation to the other. But there has to come a time that somebody has to step up and say, this is not normal.
Mhm.
Because, when you heal at that deepest level, when you acknowledge, like, I need to break this cycle and pay it forward and not have, your future generations go through this, because you want to save them
Right.
decades of pain, right? A lot of people, they go through decades of pain because they don't understand it. You really do start to magnetize your best life, and you
Mhm.
just become your relationships just become a lot more richer,
Mhm.
and with your children, with your husband, with your whoever, friends, and you become like your best version of you at work. It's just really it's an amazing thing, and you
Mhm.
really do transform, and then you want to pay it forward and help other
Definitely.
people. Yeah, help other people realize that they're not alone, and you have sisters. Let's walk together, and
Yes.
if your family doesn't want to accept you, there are other people out there that
That
will.
will accept you. Yes.
Yes,
Did
yes,
you set boundaries with your family?
yes,
And then
absolutely.
how do you handle the triggers?
That's a great question. That is a phenomenal question, because there will be triggers.
Definitely.
There will be triggers. When they realize that they no longer, because I said once after that Airbnb situation, I didn't like cut them off because I love them. And so it was
Right.
more like gradual. It was more gradual, just distancing yourself.
Hmm.
It's a really healthy thing. It's called like a detachment. And uh, so what happened was when they noticed that, they would, try to call, and then they will try to have other people call and try to find out what's going on. So there was a lot of triggers. A lot of them were, they will like do like a group chat thing, and they would just
Really?
all start, yeah. And so they were trying to pull me back into that scapegoat
Hmm.
role, and it wasn't working at all. And it was very triggering because I'm like, can you not see what you're doing here? And but they couldn't. And again, it's not their fault. They haven't their level of awareness is not there just yet. But the way I dealt with my triggers was I again remind myself I love me more than I love anybody else. And it's not a selfish thing. And my
Right.
emotional well-being and my mental well-being is number one, number
Right.
one. And so I always remind myself that. And I remind myself I have this nuclear family right now, which is my husband and the new relationships and this new family, or family, chosen family, so to speak. And, my bonus sons, oh my gosh, they're amazing. I'm so blessed. And that's what I remind myself of. And it's, you are not the labels that your family of origin put on you.
Hmm.
You're not. And whatever it is that they want you to be, you're not that person. So that's how I kind of bring myself
Hmm. What
back down.
advice would you give to somebody out there who's going through those struggles and don't know how to handle it or what to do?
So I always tell like my clients that are going through this, and I tell them that you have to make yourself a priority. And I'm very real. Like I tell them, if they do not care and they have no guilt mistreating you and thinking that they're entitled to your emotions and trying to make you feel bad by bringing up past mistakes and, trying to bring guilt and shame into your life I mean, if they have no guilt doing that, where your emotions are like, wait a second, like, that's not, that's not normal. By the way, it's not,
Right.
then you should have no guilt in setting those boundaries and protecting your emotional and mental well-being and loving you and living your best life because you're meant to shine. You're
Hmm.
not meant to live in suffer and silence in this world. That's
Hmm.
not what God intended us to be. You're meant to live a beautiful life and then pay it forward.
Forward. You're enough.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yes, you're enough. God made you perfectly in his own image. And, you know, just you should not. That's how I tell my clients, and I'm very real with them. I say, you're going to have to grieve.
Hmm.
You're going to have to. It's just part of it. And there's going to be that tug of war where that old version of you want to keep you there to the new version to be the person you've always meant to be. But that's what yeah.
Comes
Hope I
back
answered your
in. Yep.
questions. Yeah.
So tell us more about what you do today and how what you went through helped you to get where you are.
Yes, so my business is called Live Life Empowered, which is basically it's just yeah, living your life empowered, and it's I also do hypnotherapy because I kind of mixed both both things together. I think
Hmm.
it's yeah, and so and it started off as that I was a volunteer and an advocate for years, probably like over 15 years. I've been an advocate for
Wow.
the domestic violence shelter and also
Hmm.
the sexual assault center. And the reason why I do that because, I've been blessed to come out of that and I just, again, paying it forward. And
Hmm.
I want these women who are so broken and they don't feel the hope. And I want to be there to say, hey, there is absolute hope. I don't fix them or anything like that because that's not what we're here to do, but just let them know that they're not alone. And you'll
Hmm.
be amazed at how you can truly change lives. And not everybody's going to understand it, but there's going to be some that they're like, oh my God, this is what I need because they come from me. Like, their family systems are broken. And so that's what led me to what I do now, because I just want to take it, a little bit higher level. Now, and I'm still doing that. I'm still an advocate for the victims, but I'm doing this for like the high achievers and the ones that if you want to be the best, if you want to be an entrepreneur or anything, whatever it is you want to do, you don't, a lot of high achievers do suffer in silence as well. Like
Hmm.
they look great from the outside,
Uh-huh.
but then they come home and they're like, reaching for that glass of wine or whatever because they don't want, because it's the inside. And so I just let them know, like, yeah, you're a high achiever, beautiful, that's awesome. But let's go ahead and heal these other parts,
Mhm.
and you will just be an unstoppable superwoman. It's a passion and a
100%.
calling for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Would you say that it was an easy road getting to where you are today?
No, it was not
Definitely.
no, it was
Have
an
you ever
easy
had a
road.
day where you felt like, what am I doing this for? Or am I in the right place?
Yeah, yeah. So, it's not an easy road at all whatsoever. It's more of a calling for me, so I'm gonna do it regardless. There's a lot of fear that goes into it.
Mhm.
There's a lot of, vulnerability, you because you're sharing your story, and then you're like,
Mhm.
what am I doing? Like, holy crap. And then you start to self-doubt yourself a little bit, but
Mhm.
then you remember when you have that one person that says, when you see, like, so for example, I did a speaking engagement and it was amazing. Like, the audience, so many people came up to me and with like tears in their eyes are like, I've been hiding this forever. Like, I had domestic violence, I was sexually abused. And I'm like, oh, I was just raising awareness. Like, no, you don't understand. I kept this a secret. And so that reminds me, like, it's worth it. It's so worth it. It's hard also because even though I'm pretty solid of where I'm at with my sovereignty and
Mhm.
everything. Like, especially now during the holidays, like, my family of origin, like I said, I love them. I wish things would be different.
Right.
The more I elevate, or the more, and it's not that I am elevating, but I'm just sharing. You and I, we just want to bring as many women and we all rise
Yes.
together in this beautiful movement and have, live the best lives. That's
Right.
all we
And
want.
no, they're not alone.
Exactly.
There's
Yeah.
others out there to help them.
Yes, yes. And it's so, so healing. That's why I love, love, love what you do. I love that you're bringing
Thank
people
you.
on like me and the summit. And it was just so liberating that, like, I mean, it's powerful, powerful work that you're doing. I'm just
Mhm.
so grateful.
Thank you.
And and I think, and it just motivates me. It just re-energizes me. I'm like, no, like, this needs to be
Mhm.
done. But yeah, it's never always easy, like you said, because we're still human,
Right.
and we're still, we're very loving people, and with our family, we want to bring them with us, but
Yes.
there's like, no, come with us. We just want to come with us, but they're not there yet. And
Right.
they're in my prayers every day, but I
Hmm.
have to focus on my mission and
Yes.
my chosen family and so forth. Yeah.
How did you feel when you were able to share your story for the first time? Did it feel like all that pressure just came off your heart?
So, like, in the books or in the stage?
Both.
Both? Okay. So in the first uh so I've already been, like, my very first speaking engagement actually happened 3 years ago.
Really?
I had left a job because I was there for 18 years. It was a toxic working environment. But again, I didn't heal from my trauma back then. So I just thought that I just try to normalize the toxic working environment. And I had a coworker there, as I think it was probably like year 17 or something. And she was like, how do you put up with all this crap? And she was like, you need to write a book about how you put up with all this crap. That was her words. And I'm like, what do you mean? And so she was actually an author, and so she introduced me to um, the publisher, and she was also a big speaker.
Hmm.
And she's like, you need to write because you're my inspiration, because I don't know how you're so strong. And I'm like, okay. And but anyway, so I my very first podcast was talking about, what happens when you leave a job that you've been for 18 years, what happens, and the fear and not thinking you're good enough to, find something else. So I talked about that. And then I helped write an article about that. That was amazing. That was just a job part of it. And that was my first bug. I was like, oh, wow, okay. Then let me move
Awesome.
on to something else. And then it was Hispanic Stars Rising. And I just touched a little bit about my life a little bit more. And I felt more release. And
Mhm.
then Transforming Pain into Purpose came. And that was when I was like, oh, yes, yes, I'm on fire. And
Yes.
speaking on stage was probably it was very vulnerable because you're speaking to an audience and and
You're
it's also going to be
live. Mhm.
televised. Yeah, it's going to be part of a TV docuseries. So, and people are looking at you. And it was funny because I was so scared.
Mhm.
I was so nervous. And like something took over me and I just started speaking. And it was so healing. It
Mhm.
was so healing. Like I was already healed for the most part. But, like I
Yeah.
said, healing is not linear.
I
But
remember
it
we
was,
talked during while
yes.
you were at this live talk and you were in your room.
That's right. That's right. Oh my gosh, it was so wonderful. I know. I was like, oh, I have to, do this practice. But and that was one of my favorite moments, like
Mhm.
rushing in and getting ready for the summit and all of that. And but yeah, it was, I mean, I really think that a lot of people should, if it's a summit, if it's a book,
Look,
speak
yes,
a
go
piece. You don't
for
have to
it.
share. Yeah, you don't
Mhm.
have to share you don't have to share everything. Just share a little
Little
piece
piece.
because, if there's someone that needs to
Mhm.
hear your message.
Yes.
There's someone that needs to hear your message. It's not about us anymore. Like it's now,
It's about us
there's,
helping others.
yes, yes,
Mhm.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Where
So,
where can everybody find you?
yes, so they can find me. So I have a website, it's called Live Life Empowered Coaching. And they can just go there and just, put their information on there. Or the easiest way is just go to my Facebook page. Sorry, my ears are like, these things are like horrible. Just go to my Facebook page, Thyra Newby, just simple Thyra, last name Newby, and just DM me. And I'm be so happy to connect. So happy to connect.
Any final thoughts?
No, I just want to let everyone know, like, their intuition, trust their intuitions.
Hmm.
They, I think, women, we're way more powerful
Yes.
than what our limiting beliefs allow us to believe. And they truly can become like their superwoman and live their best life.
Hmm.
Truly,
If
truly,
we can
truly.
do it, others can do it too.
Yes.
And I just want everybody to know you're enough. You're not alone. If you don't have support through family, reach out because there's others that will support you and
Yes.
your dreams.
Absolutely. 100 and 1,000%.
Thank you so much for being my guest tonight.
No, thank you, Michelle, so much. I
I,
appreciate it
I
so
had an
much. Happy to be
amazing
here.
time.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Have a
Bye.
good one. Bye bye.